back. Mr. X and Maven here. Match number 3. It's going to be iSolation Esports going up against Orbit. Kind of a grudge match, Maven. You cast it at Season 3 relegation.
Yep.
These guys don't like each other very much.
It's just I guess they're very, very back and forth. ISO, I think Dito said in an interview, they really struggle against Orbit. They're like their arch nemesis. They always have a tough time with them online. And on LAN, it was the same thing. 5 games.
God still hasn't changed his gamer
series.
tag.
I think that's the one. ISO had a 2-0 lead, then Orbit came back and won 3-2. But the guy to look out for in these games, I mean, Havoc from ISO on the S&D side, I think he had what, 2 different 16-kill games and a 14-kill game at relegation, and then Burns. He was playing like an absolute beast in any map he could get up close and personal.
Yeah, it's going to be ISO jumping out to an early lead. For me, going to be looking at Dito, his first go in the Pro League. Kind of crazy to think about, you know, he's such a mainstay during Ghost. First Pro League stint for Dito. And then on the other side for Orbit, going to be looking at accuracy. You know, we casted a game where he did not play very good, Maven. And going to be seeing if he can take his play up here in the Pro League. That we've seen it before. He's put up some pretty good showings. Llama God absolutely destroys him right there. The hill going to be rotating here in 10 seconds. ISO with a huge lead.
I was watching Llama for a second. He ended up dropping. I'm going to rotate over to the next hard point. It's going to be, I'm going to go to Happy. Happy's going to be set up in here for window. He's going to be watching to see if anyone rotates behind from parking. He is going to catch one. So Happy's going to get Dito. He's a player below and a player across. Teammate gets one. He's able to drop, pick up a second. That was silly. But he's gotten 2 here. They need to get some points as they're trailing right now by 24.
Yeah, they're starting to fall behind pretty heavily here. Spacento trying to work around the back. Burns in the hill for Orbit, trying to make something happen. He's going to get one, then going to get shut down quickly. Havoc going to jump in the hill for ISO as they are going to keep extending their lead. Havoc and Silly doing a nice job controlling these hard points. Silly trying to just make anything happen here. Can't track anybody down on his screen. It's really been Llama God and Dito here to open things up for ISO, give them the early lead.
Sento, gonna get eyes on him for a second. He's 8-6 right now. I think he's known as their kind of shot caller here for S&D. I believe it's accuracy that's kind of their in-game leader throughout the respawns.
Yes.
They've got to start to get something rolling here. I mean, they're down big, trailing by 30 right now. They're trying to break into the third hard point here. Gonna end up falling. They really haven't been able to hold anything down.
They've got control of Garage,
right now, though.
so that's good. You see Havoc on your screen. He's going to pick up one. Accuracy going to jump in. He's going to pick up another. They get control of Garage, but it's broken quickly by ISO. That's really the one that they need, and you were right. Accuracy, he's going to be the in-game leader during the respawn game modes for Orbit, and then in S&D, it's going to be Facento. He's going to be the one calling the shots for this Orbit team, and they are falling behind heavily here to ISO. See Dito on your screen pushing across the map, trying to just pick up these cuts. He's going to get one. Everyone else for Orbit, they're going to start to rotate, and you're going to see the guys of ISO start to push out. 12 seconds left on that hill. Orbit going to put themselves behind the 8 ball here. Maybe if they don't hold this top one, they're going to fall behind by a lot.
And what's funny is this will be our 4th hard point. Other than the first, obviously, all 3, we've had Orbit set up at first. You know, you saw 2 players set up there for the B Street push. They fell immediately. They're set up here on parking lot. Are they able to hold this one down? As they didn't hold down Garage, and I think they've been broke almost immediately. No, they are able to take out Dito. There is a push coming from the B side. I'm going to watch Llama God here, see how they deal with it. Havoc got 2. He gets outgunned. Burns had a nice 2-piece. Silly and crew, though, coming from behind. Silly's able to pick up 2. He's going to push forward, get a nade out, see if he can deal with the push from the A side, and just like that, actually, really, I mean, Orbit hasn't got any time, though. I feel like Orbit been such a continuous push. Yeah. No one's got anything. I
mean, the guys of ISO have done such a nice job putting a lot of pressure on it that Orbit hasn't gotten a ton of time, even though they've controlled the hill right here for the last 15-20 seconds. You may see them take the last, 10.
I think they got 5 seconds in that first, like, 30, though.
Right. But Llama God, he's going to take the garbage time on this hill. It's going to be ISO up 100-43 here. Now pushing towards this last hill in the first rotation. Nope. ISO picking up 3 kills. They are going to take that hard point right away. This does not look good for Orbit. I mean, not the best of respawn team, but you expect them to play much better than this. It's going to be Happy's host here to kick things off. 13 and 13. Gonna need better performance out of him. You know, 11 and 16 out of Burns. They actually vetoed his host in this series, so gonna be expecting big things out of Facento and Happy. Accuracy, you know, not putting up the worst numbers. We've seen, you know, him kind of go up and down in respawn game modes, kind of having a decent game from him. Gonna need more out of everybody, though.
About to hit our second set of rotations. We've got, what, 15 seconds left in this one. Taking a look right now. I went to Havoc. Havoc's going to be watching this backside ring push. You see two players spawn middle. They're going to be coming. He's going to actually push out at the same time. He's able to catch one. Can he get the second underneath? He's not able to take them out, but their lead just continues to grow and grow and grow, Matt. We are now into the second side as the battle's going to break out here for Central Control. As Brian Vicento able to pick up two. Teammate adds one. He actually ends up getting a third here. Tries to fire underneath, but he will get picked off here from top glass.
Yeah, Burns going to be sitting up top. Solar, he's going to get one, jumps down, tries to finish off the second one. He's going to be able to take out Silly. Has another player in the hill. Vicento going to be helping Burns pick up these kills. Burns on a 3 streak, Vicento on a 2 streak. We're going to be on board with Burns as he's just going to be sitting in the hill trying to milk as much time for Orbit as he can. Orbit trying to mount the comeback here against ISO. ISO played so good here in the first half. Maybe what do you need to see out of Orbit to really make this game close?
Well, the thing for Orbit, thinking back to maps like, I mean, Solar knows a little more AR heavy, but we saw Burns really go off here, put up some big numbers as he was able to get really, really aggressive, get in teams' faces. For me, he was the one kind of leading the way in the slaying department. I mean, you don't really expect it. I can only think of one hard point that Facento went off and led the way in when we're talking about the relegation event. It was usually Happy, Burns kind of leading the way in the slaying department, really the ones putting up, you know, those big entry kills. It's odd when you see Facento leading the way, in my opinion.
You know, Vicento's a pretty good respawn player, but usually
he's a solid player, but he's not usually like their lead slayer.
Right. No, you really are looking at Happy and even Accuracy to kind of be their main slayers in hardpoint. But Happy 21 and 21. Gonna be going even at this moment in time. You have Accuracy 23 and 27, Burns 20 and 22. You know, nobody really putting up monster numbers outside of Vicento, which, as you said, quite odd. Usually don't see Vicento putting up monster numbers in respawn. 10 seconds left on this hill. As hard as Orbit's been fighting for these hills, it seems that they've just not gotten a lot of time.
Well, they are coming back, though. They were trailing by 70 at one point. They're now going to be down, what, about 20, 24 points here? But you can see hardpoint locked up right now by ISO. I'm switching over to Lethal, who's in the hardpoint right now. He's going to catch one, trying to come in there through purple. There's a second coming in the backside. He's able to turn, get him. Let's see if he can pick up another. And Havoc, you know, I feel like AW, you can see Killa's tweets. You can see stuff. Well, I think Killa's the one that goes off the most. But this has been the game, at least in recent memory, where I can think of, I guess, young players taking over the most. And you're seeing older players either phase out or not perform as well. And part of that is just the fact it's a new title, yes, but this game, just because it's so fast, it's so movement-based, I think has really played towards those young freak of natures more than any other title. And it's been fun to watch these up-and-coming guys. I mean, just think of the wealth of young talent that there is in Advanced Warfare right now compared to previous games. I think it's wild.
Oh, it's awesome. I think it's awesome to see tons of new talent coming through the reins in Call of Duty. It also, you know, forces a lot of the old guys to really kind of adjust to the new metas.
Yep.
And also forces them to just up their game, play a little bit harder. I mean, some of these new guys that have come in this year have absolutely dominated the scene. I mean, we've seen Hook, and guys like the Hook and TJ, you know, Temp, he's come in, put up big numbers. Don't want to say that, you know, there's some, you know, Enable. I wouldn't even really call him like a new name. I mean, he was playing well during Ghost, but yeah, by no stretch of the imagination near where he is now. Yeah,
no, that's very, very true. But a lot of these guys, man, they'll just play fast, so aggressive. Very, very fun to watch, and you got a lot of that on this ISO team for sure. But Orbit's still alive right now. Down 35 points, 70 to go. ISO's going to get all the garbage time here, though. They can actually probably close it out here. If they get the remaining seconds, they don't have a choice. They have to try and push out Llama God here. And he's winning gunfight after gunfight. He's got two pushing him out now. He is going to fall, but the damage has been done. There's basically just over 50 left, and they're trailing by 50. So Orbit has to lock down this entire hard point, and by trying to push him out of the parking lot, they give up the complete control of the fifth hard point as it rotates, yeah. And that's going to be it.
Yeah, it's going to be ISO taking game number one here. looks like yeah, Orbit, I mean, they could potentially, I know they actually would lose this by a few. It's gonna be ISO winning game number 1. Vicento finishes 42-30. A monster game out of Vicento. Just wasn't enough. I mean, got some pretty good games out of the guys on ISO, but this is how we saw them playing all through Season 3 relegation. Nobody really going crazy in the respawns. Havoc causing chaos in the S&Ds. Nope.
Yeah, in the respawn, I mean, really, there was a big game from time to time, but it wasn't like it was
right.
The
It
same
wasn't
guy,
anyone
you know?
going massive game to game.
Yeah, anyone could do it really. You know, you get that occasional big game from Silly. Dito was like had those quiet like 40 kill games.
Right.
But it was really just anyone just kind of sneaking in, throwing up a 40 bomb there. But really, it was, you know, for the most part, pretty balanced. No one consistently carrying the way. Just they, you know, I think we talked about the fact that they've stuck together probably longer than anyone but Optic, right?
Yeah, very long time they've been together. It's going to be ISO winning 205-173 there. Game number 1 against Orbit. We'll have game number 2, S&D, coming up right after this.